All right, welcome back. What's up? I'm hitting up the live stream to make sure I'm live on YouTube. Let's see if I got the sound working this time. So, wow, they let the sound work this time. Normally they give me like 3 or 4 tries and the sound would not work. It always sound like a squeaky mouse or a fucking chipmunk or some shit like that. But welcome back to the channel. We talking about Big U, Luce Cannon, Bricc Baby, Wack 100, all the craziness that y'all all, as well as myself, have been seeing on the YouTube for the last, I guess, 2 or 3 months. Those guys, being dudes from the streets in LA, they started getting extremely famous, and the internet took over, whereas they are starting to be celebrities. So now that they got white folks on their heels and coming after them, they basically became jail prisoners, and they all locked up dealing with what they're dealing with. And we as fans just don't know what to think and what to say because, in a lot of cities, I said this on my last live, which is a while ago now, but I said this already. Like in a lot of cities, like the city I'm from, the RICO, all that stuff has been happening. It's not like it's been hidden. The niggas is gangsters, niggas is thugs, niggas is out here doing it, and then the white folks do what they do. They fuck with the cell phones, they fuck with phones, they do everything to try to catch a motherfucker up, and they click and they crew, and then it's a RICO come down, and it's been like that for years. Like it's been happening for years, especially where I'm from. But when you see a place like LA, you never really see the RICO coming down on them. Motherfuckers be gang banging at a level, and they be fucking grown as hell, they be old as hell, and they still be gang banging. So you be wondering, like, damn, how the fuck can they still gang bang in that state? But where I'm from, if motherfuckers is gang banging, they locking them up. You know what I'm saying? Even if you ain't got to put shit on the internet because they seeing you in the city, as they call it, campaigning. You wearing your hat, you wearing your clothes. They know what the fuck y'all niggas up to, especially if you hustling on the street out in the open. I mean, come on, how the fuck the police ain't gonna see that? So the question is, in Cali, they be able to be gangsters. They be able to be in the game, hustling, get money. Then they able to get on the internet and be like, yeah, motherfucker, I'll kill you, nigga. I got more squabbles than you. I got more murders than you. It's like, damn. And I'm thinking to myself, well, they did make Snoop Dogg famous. Come on, think about it. He was a fucking rapper from back when I was a kid in my early 20s. And this nigga and he was gang banging on the fucking, on the actual music. But at that time, that gang banging was out in music. It was a part of the music. Like you might have had the conscious niggas, you might have had the gangster rappers, then you had the gang banging rappers, then you had the different levels of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Lyrical motherfuckers. There was just a different thing. Even Wu Tang did the Chinese shit. Everybody had their gimmick, if you will. And so that wasn't odd. You know what I'm saying? Like it was an album called Banging on Wax and shit. You know what I'm saying? Where like one side was Crip, one side was Blood. I'm like 22 or some shit like that, 21, bumping that. You know what I'm saying? Just learning. It was in music videos that was all on fucking TV. You know what I'm saying? So you just have one guys was wearing red, all red, and other guys was wearing all blue. It was just shit that you saw. But today it's not like that. You don't see them rapping about the gang shit. You see them living it like it's their fucking lifestyle. And I think it was movies like Colors and shit. It's just Blood In, Blood Out. A little different movies that came out that showed you that element. Because obviously not being from there, how would you fucking know? But when you see somebody like Snoop Dogg get on there and make money, he a celebrity still to this day, 30 years into the future, still screaming Crip, still wearing blue, still doing it like he did it when he was young. So it could give you the false idea. And then they done fucked around and just made the Crip thing be so different now where they're at the fucking Olympics. And they doing the Crip thing at the Olympics and shit. Like, yeah, nigga, this the fucking Olympics. We dancing to the Crip. All the girls, all the niggas, we dancing. And, you do it at home. This is how you do the Crip dance. So it's like they kind of making it more globally accepted versus it being a gang thing where it's like, yo, we got to move low key. Don't nobody say shit. We ain't trying to get locked up. If the police come, everybody don't say nothing. How the fuck you gonna have a no snitch clause in the gang if motherfuckers could get on a podcast and talk about everything, even if they mad at you? Like they wait till they get mad at you, they be like, yeah, motherfucker, I hate your ass. That's why you shot Ray in the foot, and that's why you was raping old girl, and that's why you did all this shit. And you like, man, what the fuck wrong with this nigga? I just motherfucking ran off with $20, or I did whatever. And it's like they snitching each other on the internet. But when you see Bricc Baby, Luce Cannon, Big U, they all supposed to be 60s, rolling 60s and shit like that. And all of them got one thing in common. They always cool. Wack 100. Wack 100, dude from LA. He ain't even a Crip. He actually a blood from the he called it the Pyro part of the city. And all of them had been friends. Well, I thought, well, maybe they was all friends because the gang banging shit is most likely when you're young. These niggas in their 30s and 40s, they not really looking at it like that. You still tied to your neighborhood, but when they come to going to do podcasts and doing business, it's doing business. But then it ain't like that. After Wack 100 stopped being cool with Big U, and then it turned into him being cool with Luce Cannon and the young guy who was coming on there talking about that Big U might have had something to do with the murder, and so it came from being to connected to Big U to then he was cool with a little bit with a Bricc baby, but not so much cool with him. They kind of fucked around. They knew each other, but they didn't always hang out. They never really was at the damn don't jump it together. And then you skip over, and then so basically he was beefing with Big U, and he got cool with Luce, and then now all of a sudden all their ass in jail, all three of them. So was it a celebrity run they was doing? Is it free speech like you hear Luce Cannon? Bricc Baby saying from the phone calls, and oh boy got his girlfriend, baby mama. Luce Cannon got his girlfriend. She's a pretty chick too, Clarissa or something. He got her actually handling his podcast. So he talking to her, calling from the Fed phone in New York, and I'm sorry, in LA, and he talking on the phone from there. At one point, Luce Cannon and Bricc Baby was both supposedly inmate roommates or whatever, cellmates and shit like that. So it's a lot of questions to be asked. Like, is this shit all for fun? Is it for Hollywood? Are they really going to be going down on these real federal indictments that's going to be handing out years? If so, why they so blasé about it? Like, a lot of times you see people go to prison, they quiet. They don't say a fucking word. They don't be speaking. They don't make a sound. They be quiet. And then you see what's going on with these niggas. They out there. They like, man, I don't give a fuck. I'm calling in, hey, boy, free me, nigga. What's up, boy? You know how it is, nigga. I ain't finna be sitting in this bitch, man. These motherfuckers not finna keep me locked down. So it's like, I really don't be knowing how to really understand it. You know what I'm saying? Is these niggas really don't give a fuck motherfuckers where it's like I'm gonna be in prison for the rest of my life anyway, so be it? Or are they really excuse me, or are they really just trying to do it for entertainment and just trying to make some money? Because that's ultimately what YouTube is. There's so many people with channels and YouTube channels talking about anything from health to positivity, and that's as far as it's going. They're not gangsters. They're not trying to be gangsters. Even if they is, they ain't doing that shit on the internet. So it's like, what do you think that's all about? Telling the internet who you really are, or showing the internet your past, giving people the reason to look in your past and find out what kind of shit you was involved in. What you think about that? Like, that seemed to me to be crazy as hell. Now you in a federal indictment, and the police get to use your videos that you put up on somebody's podcast to connect the dots on whatever scenario they thinking you was a part of. So, for instance, they got Bricc Baby with having guns. Now, he already is a felon. But when they come into his crib, they say he got guns. He got guns out in the open in front of his kids. You know what I'm saying? Underage kids. And then he got motherfucking cases from back in the past. They said I think he was arrested like 4 different times on gun charges. So he did get picked up on some state shit, and then the feds ended up picking it up. So now he's not necessarily inside their RICO, but they arrested him along with everybody. So he's basically a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's not actually on the case. Then you got Luce Cannon, who actually is a part of the RICO. He all on the internet talking about who he'll kill and who he'll fuck up and calling people sweetie and just wild behavior. And if you think about it, we already as black men are being watched and being seen. That's a fact. So now you talk about every time you pop online, you mad at somebody, you ready to kill them, and that's your video. Like ain't nobody watching this except the person who you talking about, who you want to hurt. He the only one got the fucking internet. The whole world watching this shit. Danish people in fucking other countries, motherfuckers who don't even speak English. They don't even know how they could translate this for me. What did this guy say? And then you walk in there, that fucker kill your mother. Man, people making phone calls from other countries. Like, if we come to America, are we going to run into this man? What if he robs my grandmother? It's the world out there. So when you putting out that kind of stuff, you make people be putting you on their radar. You force them, because it's looking at it like you ain't finna run around this motherfucker. Because think about it, If you're supposed to be so gangster, then it's other people who gonna feel like they want to challenge you. Oh, he gangster? No, I'm gangster. Where that nigga at? Fine dude. Let's go over there where the fuck he at. And so now you walking down the street normal or on a date with your wife or just a chill afternoon, and some stranger walking up on you talking, yeah, nigga, you said you was gangster online last week. Well, I'm Big Trey from wherever. What you want to do? Now, you wasn't even prepared for that. You walking down the street finna go get something to eat. And you got to actually have a battle to the duel for your life or somebody want to shoot at you all because of your persona online. I just think it's a little stupid. Even Snoop Dogg doing all his gang lifestyle and all that shit. You never seen Snoop Dogg really at a gang meeting. You never seen the Snoop Dogg really shooting somebody out in the open on video. You know what I'm saying? He don't even showcase the gang shit so much in his music videos where they doing gang fights. Like even if he did do that in his young years, he switched up the imagery to other images. But the younger guys don't have that. It's like the podcast, No Jumper. It's all about gang shit. It's all about Crips and Blood. They ain't switching it up. They're not changing the theme. They're not coming from another vantage point. Hey, what about No Jumper girls? Hey, what about strippers? Hey, what about twerking? They're like, no, fuck that. Nigga, it's murder, death, and kill. Boy, squabble, motherfucking DPs, nigga. That's it. So they don't have another muscle. It's all they want to do is be on gang shit. And that's, to me, I'm one individual. Ain't nothing fucking wrong with that. If you a gang nigga, fucking gang. What? I don't understand what the fuck the problem is. But the problem is this. You're 42. You're 38. You're 45. It's no fucking way you should still be connected to the gang where you're running you outside to threaten somebody or hurt somebody. And you got Luce Cannon up in age, and he done jumped on some motherfucker by the outside of No Jumper. They say he pulled a man underwear off of him. I guess they had guns on the guy, jumping the man, made him butt naked on the street. What reason you doing that? Is you some kind of undercover homosexual and shit? Because what kind of tough guy is that? Making a person get naked? Nigga, what for? I mean, if this is another mobster or somebody like that, and you want to embarrass him, take a photo, I don't know, maybe your psychology think like that. But this is just some random motherfucker who you ran into in some beef moment. Like it's not somebody who you've been knowing for 16 years or 14 years. You just did it on a Thursday afternoon, Monday morning before it turned, the daylight kicked in, whatever the fuck you was thinking. Like that shit is not the smartest shit, because that guy who got naked, all he would have to do is tell his nephews or the guys in his neighborhood or somebody from his past, and they'll come right, swing back around and shoot the shit out of Luce Cannon. Would not give a fuck about getting caught because of the principalities of it. Luce Cannon know that shit. That's why he on the fucking internet capping, screaming like, yeah, come on over. I dare you, because he know the reality of it. If you do something to somebody, that person might not be able to retaliate. They might not even want to retaliate. But then there's somebody else who know them or feel like they got to retaliate for them will be in your face, and nobody can predict that moment and nobody can stop that from happening. So that means you could be as tough as you want to, and as soon as they pop up, they're going to wait till you're in your most vulnerable moment, and it's going to happen. You could be taking a shit at the fucking WWE, and you would have got in the suburbs somewhere in the bathroom for to take a doodle because you ate the wrong damn cheese. And here comes somebody like, ain't you goddamn it, blah, blah, blah. You like, whoa, this ain't the moment. This is how I go. You have to be careful how you put that kind of energy out there. I would assume. But I ain't from California, so I don't know the gang world. Maybe you gang bang till you die. Like, I'm not there. I seen it on TV. Just like they would see my neighborhoods or where I'm from on TV. Like I don't even know nobody from that world. Only time I see it is on TV. They didn't do this when I was growing up. It was so low key. And if you heard a person talking about it, it was like somebody who had became an actor. And then they was like, well, tell us what it was like to grow up in South Central. And he'd be like, it was like this and it was like that. And that's about as far as you got. And maybe some rapper might come out and maybe did. At that time when I was growing up, they used to do articles in newspapers and shit or magazines. So you would have to get the magazine on one, like fucking $8 damn, $5. But then you got it, and now you can read that little section where the lady says, so what was it like growing up in the blah, blah, blah town? And he'll describe it, whatever. And then you read and because otherwise you wouldn't know. You do not know what it's like in some other states or cities. The people be bullshitting on their songs, so you can't even take that for fucking truth. So you see the guys like a Snoop Dogg, 45, 50 years old, still gang banging, calling up Crip. He's putting a message out there to all of the younger kids saying, hey, if you want to be a Crip in your later years, you can. And you're going to be successful behind it. Look at me. But it's still a false reality because it ain't 50 Snoop Dogs. It ain't even 25 of them. It ain't even 5 Snoop Dogs. Name 5 gang-banging, openly gang-banging niggas that's successful financially in any kind of way. I don't give a fuck what you do. He ain't no motherfucking nigga that own no motherfucking property and buildings and skyscrapers downtown in your city, and he up in that motherfucker talking about he still hold down the game. You know, no way. It's not even a lot of people who got kids, children that they got to take care of every day that hold down the game. It's not many. It's not many because, you know, in the morning you got to take your ass over to get this kid at 3, 4. You got to go back and pick him up. You got to get him some food. You got to see what time. You got to make sure they ass in bed. You ain't got time to run down there and see what the homies on no more. You had did so many hours and years and weeks and that you did overtime. You like a fucking you got seniority. So now when it comes down to your own children, you in their fucking life trying to be a daddy, trying to make sure they got food. And you might still dabble and dibble, but at the end of the day, you got to get back to responsibilities. That's most times how life goes. It's not really gonna be like you around your homies like that. Talking about, so what the fuck they did? I'm finna go kill them niggas. Not in reality, it's not gonna be like that. On TV, in a movie, or something. Maybe one rare afternoon or the summer kicked in, and then this happened that one weekend in the summer. It's rare because you're gonna be living life. You ain't gonna even have time for that shit. And then another thing, you're gonna be trying to run up on an op supposedly, and they 15 years younger than you. They 22 years younger than you. You ain't really seen them in a long time. You don't know how these niggas look. Well, you run up on your op, he your age, but he can't run. He got a goddamn cane. He don't even be walking no damn more. He got fucking diabetes shoes on. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. It's not what they putting on TV. It's not everybody in power or everybody in some movie or TV show. It's not like that. Reality is real. More reality is real. You know what I'm saying? But you wouldn't really be able to gauge that or know that if you're not actually seeing and living life. But to me, them dudes being gangsters and being on the internet as a gangster and in federal custody as a gangster, that shows you this right here, the brain. Everybody ain't wrapped 100% tight. And just because you might assume they are, or they could talk and have a conversation or run, jump, eat, use the spoon, talk on the phone, that doesn't mean they have it all. You understand what I'm saying? Like they got it all. It don't mean that. Because one would assume freedom is something that you never want to give up. I mean, you might have been locked yourself in a closet or been in the backseat of a car and had to wait for somebody to get out before you get out, or been in the airport, airplane, you fuck 5 or 10 states back. You got to wait for all these people to get out before you can get out. You've been trapped in a moment where you would like to be moving faster, but you got to wait for other people to do it. Now imagine they give you a sentence and you got to sit in a building that not of your choice, around people not of your choice for years. So if that's the challenge, if that's what you up against, what will make you fucking want to do that? What will make you want to still connect yourself to something that's going to get you locked up? Again, if you're young, that's different because you're 20-something. You're going to be in your homie's face. You might even be in your homie's face in your 30s. I probably was like 33. I'm lying like a motherfucker. I was like 34 when I stopped being in the hood. I was 34 years old. There's no cap. Before I stopped hooping, before I stopped running with my homies, before I stopped being in their fucking face all the time, I was like 34. And I had a 14-year-old kid. I had a 13. Well, I think my daughter's like, she a little younger, so she probably was like 10. And then I had 2 1-year-olds. On the fact, that's me. I was living life. I was still living, kicking it. I didn't even see adult life like that because you just was living. You in your 20s, you partying, we having fun. I wasn't, I was living my life. But and everything was around you. You see the gang shit, you see what's happening, you see what's popping in the world. But you living life, you having fun. Then you get way older, then it starts slowing down, and you start being like responsibility every fucking day. Ain't no days off, ain't no time to chill. And then you start seeing your homies like I did yesterday at fucking Walmart or Target. Like, hey, what's up, nigga? What the fuck going on? And then we talked for a couple of minutes and shit. He thought, oh man, my son finna have a baby. I'm gonna be granddaddy now. I'm like, damn, you bullshit. That's it. We stopped walking our own different directions. Now in our young years, did we gangbang? Of course we did. In our young years, did we run around fucking doing crazy shit all the fucking time? In my 20s, I probably was around these motherfuckers in my 20s every fucking day. Winter, summer, fall, it did not matter. Every fucking day. We was around each other. I woke up in the morning and then went dead over to my first crib. Sometimes I go out in the club and you can't get in the crib. I hit dude, hey, let me now go sit in the couch at his crib and go to sleep. This motherfucker used to watch sci-fi. He used to put the TV on sci-fi. So it was like 24 hours. I don't know why the fuck he watched it. He wasn't even into that shit, but he just had a damn sci-fi on. And I'm in this motherfucker crib, knocked out sleep. I ain't in no bed. I'm in my homie crib, sleeping. And I wake up in that motherfucker, watching sci-fi on the motherfucker in the morning. Twilight Zones or whatever shit they had on that bitch until the time the sun beaming behind my neck. And I'm like, you know what? Let me hit the streets again. And I'm back in the fucking streets. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even living no other kind of way. It was just life. You know what I'm saying? So I understand living in life and not really being responsible or having responsibility of doing shit. But the way them niggas was kicking it is really next level because you on the internet talking about murdering and squabbling and fighting and getting in niggas' faces. That shit's soft. It's soft as hell because, and the feds and the police already know this. If you tough, if you a gangster, then get gangster with us. See, because that's really the definition of it all. If you a gangster, if you cripping, if you blooding, if you whatever, you thugging it, then get gangster with the white man. You're never supposed to be sitting in jail. You're never supposed to be sitting in prison. You're supposed to be slap the shit out of the niggas whoever got you mad in your world. And when white folks walk up, you slap the shit out of them too. You don't go and be like, all right, take me home, take me in. You don't do that. You be like, shit, what the fuck y'all want? Bitch, I told everybody this how it's gonna fucking go. But you know that when they come, they doing this. What the fuck we say do? Get your bitch ass outside that motherfucking house and get on the ground. And you walk out there, sometime motherfucker had a baby and they y'all looking for me? Scared as hell. So when do the gangster shit really kick in? Because when I was disappointed, I at first didn't never know that it was a leader of the Crips. But when they said Big U was a leader of the Crips, it gave you an idea like, oh shit, this nigga was a kingpin the whole time. I never knew about him before then too much either, but I heard his name. So now he said, oh, Big U turning himself in. What? Wait a minute. You the leader of one of the biggest motherfucking gangs in California, Los Angeles. And you gonna turn yourself in? Turn yourself into what? You already know they finna give you life in prison, nigga. You finna be in jail for 20-some years. The fuck would you turn yourself in for? Because they ultimately don't really be gangsters like that. They be gangsters against you, like a black person, like a nigga like them. Like, yeah, if it's a nigga, I'll fucking break your neck, nigga. But when white people pop up, they be like, let's talk. Now, hold on. So my court date is when? And so bring a lawyer. I should bring a lawyer? Okay, cool. If I want to be my own lawyer, I can. Like, they got understanding. They trying to fucking figure things out and get some kind of criteria going. And it's like, wait a minute. You just was gangster in the whole neighborhood. And for Big U, he was gangster in the whole music industry. You can't come to this motherfucking town without talking to me. Okay, cool. Don't know white people. It's the whole kind of Asian motherfucker. Do you know how rich he would have been if he would have reached out to other cultures other than just black? But that's why he had to keep reaching out to black people because he was too scared to reach out to other cultures. So these other Russians, whoever they came and killed your ass, talking about somebody got to talk to you before they come to their city. What? So they really be tough towards black people. And now you got what you're asking for. White people is on your radar. Okay, cool. So you better check in with us. Now what you gonna do? Okay, just take me to jail. Gonna put me. Yeah, I know I should have been more quiet with this. Then that's another thing. They got TV show. You got internet presence. You always got t-shirts. Check in. Come on, man. That's too fucking far. Like, it's literally no quietness, no silence, no secret, no nothing. It's all out there in the fucking open. If I'm finna go murder this nigga, I'm putting that shit on Facebook first. If I'm finna go take something from somebody, I'm finna make a post and then put some photos and some emojis by that bitch. And then I go do what the fuck I'm gonna do. So I don't even think I would say that that's a bad thing. I just think it's a new way of the life. It's a new world. It's a new world. So Snoop Dogg was almost like an alley-oop for them. He was basically saying, yo, Crip for life. We crippin'. Where's the GD nigga that been in the industry for 25 years? Where's the Stone or Mo or Vice Lord person that been in there for? Where's the Latin King guy that been in there for 25 years? Where's the Blood member that's been in the game for 25 years? Nobody. So they chose my brother Snoop to be a beacon, to be a message. So now you can be younger now. We was his age. I mean, he's only like a year older than me. So you could be younger than us and you could see that and look to him and say, well, wait a minute. If I love my gang, if I love my hood like I do, why would I put it down? Why would I stop? Now, fuck that. Tattoo on my neck, tattoo on my face, nigga. I told you, motherfucker, this is who I am. And I'm coming to this bitch. I'm finna come get the job. I'm finna come work here. And when you see him and when you talk, it's intriguing because these type of black men didn't exist. Could you imagine in Malcolm X time, he walking around talking about black power? Could you imagine in Martin Luther King time, he walking around talking about turn the other cheek, and then another black dude walk up named whoever, and he walking around talking about we Bloods and we Crips, and if you come in our neighborhood, we're gonna kill your motherfucking ass on Blood, on Crip. That didn't exist. This is a new black man. That's why the people like a white people will put a person like Snoop Dogg up, because not only is he a new black man, but they get to watch him. They get to say, okay, who is this new gangbanger? What's that? I've been hearing about it, but what is that? This is what it is? Well, I love my hood. I'm this forever. I don't give a fuck what you think. This who the fuck I am. Now, we know you don't own the houses. We know you don't own the sidewalk. We know you don't own the properties. We know you don't own the stores. We know you don't own shit over there. But you claiming the block, you claiming the hood, where you from. Nothing wrong with it. I did it too growing up. But at the end of the day, it ended in our towns. But in Chicago, in this town of Los Angeles, they keep going. And they got the young guys believing that that's who they are today. They are the gang. And so now it just take white people to just get in their trucks, ride around and say, okay, who wearing the colors? Who got it on? Him, give him up. Come on, take fingerprint, paperwork. And we basically told on ourselves. So when you had the Black Panther guys who was being obscure, who was trying to be smart intellectuals, but about also black leaders, you had them at a certain time. And then those guys became deleted. And so who were the guys who took their place? Not the Hebrew Israelites, not the Christian brothers, not the Muslim brothers, but the gang brothers, the gangsters, the thugs. And that's who basically been holding down the country, the media, the television, and everything. So you're either a bougie black man or you're a gangster. So it's just that. And seeing a lot of times they blend them, they merge them in their media, they merge them to make it seem like that it's all one. So you got a Tyler Perry and you got a 50 Cent. They got the same thing. They're not different. They both do movies. They both do shows. They both need white people to produce them. And they make their storylines like that. That's the same guy. They're not different. One is a not so gangster and one's supposed to be ultra gangster. But they all do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? He said, nah, this has anything to do with Wack. Wack, you using this name for clicks. Get a life. Somebody named JC just hit me up. This boy must be a Wack 100 dick sucker. But anyway, but that's how I looked at it. You know what I'm saying? In my life, of how you do all that. Damn, but this nigga must have been listening to my whole thing. JC is a goofy. Hey, but anyway, yeah, but on Wack 100, it's a lot of times where they saying that he's got some snitch allegations out there, all that. You really don't know. My biggest component is about, and what this JC guy can't comprehend, because a lot of people don't have a lot of intellect. That's what I was saying in this video, is that the gang thing is what connected all of them. See, JC, he really is a Wack 100 fan, so he just want to hear about him so he can masturbate. I don't do that for gay men. But what the situation is that a lot of this information out there is that the gang thing is what all of them had in common. And I was saying that for my video, by being in a gang, it gives you the four people's mindsets. So that's what intellectual talk is all about. We're not caring about if you are able to keep up with the conversation, because the conversation's still going to go. It's still going to go. You know, in the weather don't give a shit if you got a jacket, if you wore your shorts today. It's going to still be wet, cold, or hot. Don't give a fuck what you did. So that's the same thing we do over here. We rolling because we know what the fuck we talking about. That's why I started the goddamn podcast. The fuck, why would I not know what the fuck I'm talking about? But, you know, you hear a lot of these videos coming out right now. And I think that by media perpetuating the gang world, that gave these guys a little bit more license to feel like it was okay to get on there and indict themselves with the conversations they was having, placing themselves in crimes that they shouldn't have, or even just turning on each other. Because these niggas was friends. especially being from the same hood or knowing the same people. They all got the same connections. But then that turned to hate each other, and that fast. But that just show you that the guy like what's his name, Big U, he had built up a lot of enemies and shit from being the leader. You know what I'm saying? The guy at the top. So how many people are gonna be friends with you and like you forever? Like some of them are gonna hate you because you at the top. You the top guy. So that was basically his issue. Him being a top guy, you gaining so many people that just can't fucking stand you no damn more. And you can't stop them from putting their messages out there. That's what made Luce Cannon go out there and start busting him out and saying the shit he was saying. But Luce Cannon started saying the shit about Big U after Wack 100 fell out on him. So a lot of that shit was just basically using No Jumper as a fucking platform to basically put out these messages again to take down Big U. So then you got the other guy, 600. He jumped on board. I believe a lot of that shit was happening, of course, on the streets in a little city, in a hood. This where a lot of that shit was going on. And then the internet became just a blast out. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we could just put that shit out there. And, you know, I follow Wack 100, keeping up with a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? But then he didn't get indicted in the scenario. And then I just heard a video yesterday where he played it, but it was a video from the past that he had where he was talking to an FBI agent about what's the guy named Jay Prince, and he was talking about how Jay Prince ended up being. They were asking, was Jay Prince threatening Wack 100? Wack 100 played the audio, and he did it like a G. He played it as if nothing was happening and shit. They were just having a misunderstanding, you know, niggas talking shit. And the lady at the end of the conversation said, "Keep my phone number. If anybody ever threaten you or do something to you, let me know." And I'm like, damn. Wack 100. This is how real it is in the world. So imagine that. You know, you thinking you're gonna have a fight with Wack 100 on a phone call, and the feds had already had his number and talking to him on a one-on-one. They could even bug his phone call from that point forward, or even had it done already. So you if you're talking gang shit, or if you got a gang connect, or if y'all in some kind of gang shit, you just know it's gonna be seen and busted out at some point. You know what I'm saying? And for them being from LA and it being like a Hollywood location and a Hollywood scenario, it's almost like they being put on the biggest blast because they really didn't have a lot of RICOs coming out of LA with the gangs. You didn't really see that a lot. You know what I'm saying? But now you might see that a lot more. And I think I seen somebody say that they're trying to clear up LA for the Olympics that's coming there in about 2 or 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So that could definitely be a possibility. You know what I'm saying? So. But all this shit, man, is up for interpretation. You got to kind of give yourself a little wonder about it. You can still answer the questions right there, what I got going on. Do you think Wack was the reason all these niggas got locked up? Or you think it was self-snitching? That they just basically told on themselves, you know, in the scenario that they was in. And they was using I was using Big U as their scapegoat to talk about the crimes they did with him. Or even if it was 1 or 2. You know what I'm saying? And then it come from that to now these niggas are cellmates to now they probably ain't coming home for a while. You know what I'm saying? They leaving their kids out here on the streets. How smart is that to leave your kids out here on the streets while you go sit your ass up in a fucking prison? Y'all let me know, man. I appreciate you listening, watching, liking, and subscribing. Peace.